Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another video. And today I've had a pretty productive day so far. It is like mid-afternoon on a nice little Thursday. Had a round of golf and now we're playing some 2-5. There's only one table running right now, so I'm not sure how grindy it's going to be honest, but I don't know. I'm getting really into golf. I'm gonna start making some golf vlogs and they're gonna be really bad. But if you want to see some horrible golf, go check out Double Bogues on YouTube. I'm posting there like once a week, so I'm posting a video literally every single day. 3 vlogs here, 1 vlog every Tuesday on the personal channel, and then 1 vlog hopefully every week on the golf channel every single Thursday. So we'll see how it goes. Anyways, that was a long rant, but yeah, we're playing 2-5. I haven't played live in a little bit. I think this is my 2nd session in maybe 3 weeks now, something like that, 3.5 weeks. So a little rusty, but we'll see how grindy this 2-5 is. And we're just trying to get some reps in before we head down to the Hard Rock in Florida. Before we play a lot of cash games there, there's going to be a lot of action and a lot of tables running. So just trying to get a little more familiar with cash again, and just get back on the grind. So hopefully we don't punt off as many chips as last time, and we'll see how it goes. Before we get into the hands, a word from today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. They have a whole world of amazing looking champions, all from their unique faction, and those factions have a lot of lore. Here's a quick dive into the first faction you'll meet, the Banner Lords. Use the links down below to download Raid yourself on your mobile phone or PC. The Banner Lords are one of the few completely human factions in Teleria. With armor, weapons, and designs based on the feudal knights of medieval Europe, they were founding members of an alliance between the Sacred Order, High Elves, and Barbarians to push against the forces of evil. But that was a long time ago. When we meet them, they've seriously lost their way. They've launched a war against their old allies of the High Elves, and rumor has it the once good King Taiba has come under the influence of a growing shadow. Is it true? Is there something more sinister at work here? For now, here's one of my favorite Banner Lord champion, Black Knight. This guy is just a walking savage. On top of everything, Raid's releasing an insane amount of new content and new things to do. First up, they're releasing 11 amazing new champions, and I can't wait to see what they can do. They're also releasing almost 200 brand new missions to complete, with an exclusive legendary champion as your reward if you manage to finish them all. And if that's not enough, they're also adding 5 tough new levels to almost every single dungeon in the game. If you want to get a huge head start in Raid, all you have to do is hit the link in the description, and I'll see you in game. Welcome to the 2-5 at Boston Billiard here. We buy in for 1,000, and here we go. With Queen Jack of clubs in the small blind, there's an under the gun limp and a hijack raised to $25. We get the cutoff and button to call, and this is like one of the first hands in that we're dealt in. Unfamiliar with any of the players at the table, so when it's multi-way, normally I think I can 3-bet this, but given how we just sat down in the session, we're in the small blind, I'm just gonna flat call this. It seems like a terrible play, but whatever, we want to see what happens at the table. I make the call, which invites the big blind and limper to call, so first hand in, it's a 6-way bomb pot. The flop comes Queen, 10, 7, 2 spades, and a diamond. Given that we are 6-handed, top pair is okay. We do have a backdoor straight draw, I guess. So I guess I can lead sometimes, but I decided to check. And action actually ends up checking all the way around. So my check here seems like a terrible decision. Anyways, the turn comes the Ace of Hearts. This card is one of the worst ones you wanted to see. This one kind of stinks. So here, first to act, I check. The big blind throws out a bet of $105 now, and when action folds back to me, I'm the only one with a pair, it seems like, but yeah. I'm not going to be calling, seeing probably one of the worst turns in the deck. I let this one go, and the big blind shows Ace-6 of spades, so the flop couldn't have been better for him, and the turn literally was gin. In this next hand, we play a fun one with King-7 of spades on the big blind. There's a cutoff, button, and small blind limp. Action onto me and a suited king out of position. I don't know, man. We're going to raise this up. I sized to $30, and we only get the cutoff to make the call. This player seems to be pretty active, playing pretty much every single hand so far early in the session, so we'll see what happens. The flop comes Jack 3-5 Rainbow, and here I decided to c-bet this one to $25. I'm pretty much expecting to get a lot of fold on a brick board like this, but he does not. He actually ends up snap calling 25. The turn now comes a 3 of diamonds. Sitting with king high, we have no draws, we've got nothing. I'm going to check here to let his nothings bluff maybe. When I check, he throws out a bet of 100 immediately. Really confused by the action, and now thinking in my head that king high actually isn't too bad here. It's a fairly decent bluff catcher, I think, and I don't know, maybe just leveled myself into a call, who knows, but I decide on calling the 100, seeing what happens on the river. The river is the 9 of clubs, so here first to act. The issue with being out of position is I don't really know what to do. Do I need to bluff here with king high? Do I have enough showdown? I'm not sure, but I check. This player snap checks it back. I announce my king high, and he shows the standard king 5 offsuit, so we're in for it, man. We've seen this player raise pre-flop to $45 or even $100 sometimes. Sizings vary every single hand, and he also called an all-in pre-flop for $120 with 10-5 suited. Let's try to make some hands and strap in. So in this next spot, we have king 5 of clubs on the big blind, playing four-handed with a button straddle. I decide to limp in for just $5 more given we're short-handed. Action folds to the button player, who is the other guy that called my raise with king 5 off. He checks it surprisingly, so going to a flop. Heads up, the flop comes ace, queen, deuce, rainbow. Here, I'm going to check to him, and this player ends up checking it back, so same with king high, whatever, not much going on. The turn comes the jack of hearts. Once again, I check. Now he throws out a bet of $75, saying he wants to gamble. Yes, we are facing a $75 bet into a $20 pot. Oh boy. I called with king high last time and I was wrong. And here, I'm not really sure what he means by saying he wants to gamble. He could be telling the truth with a draw or something, or he just wants a call. Either way, if we call this $75, we've just got to assume he's going to fire out another really big bet on the river. Can we sustain that bet and hero call king high for a large pot? Not entirely sure, but I'm going to fold and let this one go and wait for a better spot. This player ends up showing us 4-5 of hearts for a gutter and flush draw, so pretty strong draw for him. But like I said, we're ready to strap in. After seeing what's been going on at this table, we are going to take a pure exploitative line today. So when we pick up ace-queen offsuit under the gun with the button straddle, the small blind limps, and here I'm assuming that this button player who straddled is going to raise a lot, so I decide to limp with my strong hand for $10. Surprisingly, the player to my left, who's new to the table, raises to $60, and action actually folds back to me. Here, this hand can serve really well as a limp 3-bet, but given that we are out of position, certainly under-repped the strength of my hand so far, I decided to take a passive line as the plan didn't really go according as to what I thought it was going to do. Anyways, you don't see a passive line too often here at this channel. I just make the call. The flop comes deuce, 3, 6, rainbow, and it definitely smashes my conventional limping range, but obviously not here in this hand. I decide to check, and this player actually ends up checking back. So off to our turn we go. The turn comes a 5. Now, with ace high, we can protect it sometimes or also just start bluffing here. Obviously have a lot more 2 pairs and 4s in my range, so I throw out a bet of $50. This player folds quickly, and you can already tell this is going to be a weird session. We've been waiting to find a big hand, and this time pocket aces under the gun, and there's a button straddle. The big blind limps to me, and it's the perfect spot as our friend is on the button here. I decide to once again limp and take a passive line. The cutoff limps as well, and now this button straddler raises up to $40 as suspected. The big blind folds who limped, and here we are out of position, but we really want to keep all of the button's aggression here, so I decided to just make the call on slow play. The cutoff player calls as well. 3 ways, the flop comes jack, 8, 3, 2 diamonds, and a spade. First to act, I check, cutoff checks as well. Now the button player throws out a bet of $80. Here, this board is definitely draw heavy, but I do think that this player can just be betting with air so often. And like I said, I really don't want to limit his aggression and want to get stacks in if he's going to commit them. So I decide to call, and the cutoff folds, which is nice. We're going heads up. The turn comes the 10 of spades, brings in 2 flush draws now, and this board couldn't be more connected or gross. So I decide to check. Now he throws out a bet of $300, sizing way up. Well, this seems like a spot where folding is just not an option with how we played this hand. Obviously with our overpair, very much under-repped when we've seen this player pile in money with draws or air or whatever it may be. So do we just want to make the call and only leave ourselves with like $750 behind, or try to get max value from any Jack X or combo draw that might have came in? Certainly now this 10 makes us behind hands like Jack 10, but given what's been going on, we just have to go for it, I think. So here I decided to just go with my 1 pair. and rip it all in for $1,072 total. This is definitely a purely exploitative line that I think I can take against this player who's holding almost any two. So this player covers us, and he tanks for a long time and doesn't look like he's loving the situation. So when we don't get snap called, I think that we're good here a lot of the time. Seems like a one pair holding, so he thinks for a while, and after a little bit, he makes the call. Let's go to a river. It pairs the board, which isn't great for us, and worse, as he jumps up in excitement and shows us 10-8 off suits for a full house. We can't be too mad, as we were beat on the turn anyways, and that's when we piled in all the money. Just really unfortunate that he hit the two pair on the turn. Certainly wasn't going to fold two pair, and I guess our exploitative line punishes us, but clearly he's willing to pile in money with 10-8 off. The very next hand after aces, we reload up back to $1,000 in stack. We pick up ace queen of clubs on the big blind. There's a hijack open to $20. The cutoff, who we just gave away $1,000 last hand, calls. Now the small blind 3-bets to $60, and this player has a pretty small stack. Given this action, we've got a pretty good hand, and I think we're just going to go for it all. We put in that 4-bet in position of the small blind player to $150, hoping to isolate, and when action folds back to the small blind, our isolation works, and he rips it all in for $190 total. Obviously, for $40 more, we make the call, and let's go to a run out.
Queen, I have queen 4, diamonds.
The run out comes queen high, and we just assume our hand is good, so we just show ace queen, and this small blind player shows pocket kings, so we're just doubling people up left and right. Looks like we're just running into it today. So we're only an hour into the session, and I guess things haven't gone our way. A nice warm welcome back to live poker after some time off. I'll say certainly trying to shake the rust off. I've certainly played some hands pretty poorly, but running into it doesn't help either. So I don't know, we're in for 25 right now. We've got 1,000 in front. Just doubling people up and getting sacked left and right. We're in for a fun one. We'll see. We're only an hour into the session, and a lot of things have gone on so far. So we'll see if we can try to run it up or continue bleeding. Who knows? Let's hope our luck turns around with pocket kings in the hijack. The player to my right limps, and I decide to raise it up to $25. The small blind, the big stack player who's been playing a lot of hands, makes the call. The big blind calls, and the under the gun player calls. So 25 not enough. 4 ways to a flop, which comes queen, jack, 8, rainbow. These boards just suck multi-way. Anyways, when action checks to me, it's a very wet board, and given we're multi-way, I just want to protect my overpair here in this spot, so I decided to throw out a bet of $75. Small blind, next to act, our friend here raises us to $400. Now action folds to me, and once again, with another premium against this player who's been playing pretty much every hand, I've seen him make massive raises, and recently it's been very nutted hands here. So is there any chance he's balancing his massive raise sizings with some bluffs as well, and especially on this board texture? Can he be doing this with a hand like ace queen for value? Can he be doing this with a hand like queen 10 or jack 10? It seems a little far-fetched, but certainly might be in range with his pair and draw. So I'm looking at my stack. If I make the call for $325 more, I'll have like $700 behind. And will I ever call a jam on a blank turn? Not entirely sure, but against any other player, there's no way I'm folding if I make the call on this flop. So anyways, I guess I'm just going to hope that he's bluffing and balancing after running extremely hot and crushing the table. Looks like he's got piles of chips in front of him. So for $325 more, pocket kings, we're going to make the call and see a turn. The turn comes a 4. It's a total blank, and he does exactly what we thought he was going to do. He rips it all in, covering us for about $700. And if I'm going to call that flop check raise, I'm going to have to call the turn. Let's hope our kings doesn't go down in flames like aces. I call fairly quickly, and let's go to a river. The river is another 4, and this player shows us queen 8 of spades. Whew. River suckouts are nice for big pots. We needed this one. He definitely wasn't balancing his massive bets. He was just going for pure value. And we feel a little gross to suck out this way, but it's nice to finally have a big pot pushed in our direction. After the hand happens, this player tells the table that he called my $25 bet pre-blind, and then he saw that he flopped 2 pair. So I might have to size up a little bit more pre-flop if he's going to be calling $25 blind in the small blind. Hand after that, we pick up 10-9 of diamonds in the hijack. I open up the action at $25. Now, obviously sizing up now. Only the small blind player, our friend, and the big blind makes the call. So 3 ways. The flop comes 10, deuce, 3, 2 hearts, and a diamond. Small blind checks, and this big blind player leads out for $45. With top pair, obviously I'm not folding just yet. It's an easy defend, although I've seen a lot of leads to be draws. I make the call, and the small blind surprisingly folds, so almost the first time in this video we're playing against someone else for a change. Heads up, the turn comes a 5. This player throws out $45 once again. I don't really love my kicker, but for this price, obviously never going anywhere. I just decide on a call. The river now comes the 9 of hearts, which is amazing with 2 pair, but not great as the flush did get there. Not sure how much value I can get, but for the third time, this player bets out $45, and I almost snap called this, but midway through, I actually just stopped myself. Is there any value in raising to target maybe a sticky 10, maybe ace 10, king 10? I don't think I can size up too large as a raise because the flush did get there, but I did size up to $125. I thought it was small enough to get 1 pair to call, but this player snap folds, so I guess we'll just take it down. All right, this next spot, pocket aces once again on the big blind. There's a hijack player who limps, and the cutoff, who we keep battling it out with, raises it up to $20. The small blind makes the call, and here we're definitely not going to slow play this. I'm definitely going to 3-bet, and I decide to size up to $100. The hijack, who limped pre, makes the call for $100. Interesting. The cutoff, who raised as well, also makes the calls, so we're going 3 ways to a flop. The flop comes 6, 7, 9 rainbow, and another time with a premium. These flops stink. Given we're out of position against this player type who can play any 2, I think we can just c-bet for value with our overpair and shred cautiously. So I decided to size to $200. The hijack, who limped, folds, which is nice as I thought that this board would hit his range more. The cutoff makes the call. Also feeling okay about his call because he typically raised all of his stronger hands when we were involved together, so maybe he has 1 pair, maybe he has a draw. The turn now comes the jack of spades, and although the board is definitely connected, I don't think it changes too much besides jack 9. So obviously his flop straights are still straights. So when a card doesn't change too much, it does bring in a few additional draws. We continue for another sizing of $500. Now this player doesn't take too long before ripping it all in for $1,537. And wow. For a third time in this session, we're playing a premium and playing for a massive pot on a scary board against the same player. So after figuring out the amount, it turns out that I cover him, and I go into an eternal tank. We are getting decent odds to call, almost 3-1 in this spot, but can he ever be semi-bluffing with a combo draw again? He hasn't done so before. Having the ace of spades in our hands sucks for us as we do block spade combos. Anyways, it just seems like I don't know how to let these premiums go. At least one of these times we have to be ahead against this guy, right? So I've been technically 0 for 2 so far, losing with aces and sucking out and getting it all in bad with kings. So let's be ahead one time, please, with these cards. I toss in a chip for a crying call. Let's go to a river. All into the river, which comes in 8. We don't love the 4-liner out there, but it turns out it never really mattered to begin with. This player shows us 10-8 offsuit for a flop straight, flopped us dead all the way. We make a donkey call and just donate stacks his way. Nice hand. For the last hand of the table, our friend that we keep giving money to says that it's his last hand. So he's an under the gun and I'm on the button, so we've got to straddle it up for his last hand. The small blind limps for $10. The big blind folds, and the under the gun player raises to $20. Hijack makes the call, and well, given we have a suited ace with ace 7, we're way ahead of the under the gun opening range, so I decided to 3-bet to $125. Honestly, very much being okay with getting stacks in at this point, given how stuck we are, but everyone else folds besides our friend and under the gun. He covers us, obviously, with like a 5k stack, so we're 1k behind. Let's go to a flop. The flop comes ace, jack, jack, and when he checks to me, I don't see much value in betting here in this spot with top pair and weak kicker. Given that he might be incentivized to start bluffing, I decide to just check it back and see a turn. The turn comes a 6, doesn't change much, and this player decides to throw out a bet, and it's pretty large. It's $500, 2x the pot. And I mean, no way, after donating so many stacks to him, that he can always have it, right? There's no way he can have a jack here. Not every single time that he stacked me, not every single time he's stacked other players at the table. So I think about it, and with only $425 behind, I ultimately decide on a call because we have an ace, and whatever happens, happens. The river is a 5. This player rips it all in, covering me, obviously, and if I'm calling 500 on the turn, then what am I going to do with the remaining 400 on the river? I make the call, obviously. This player shows Jack 10 off suits, of course, for flopped trips, and I think that is enough pain to take in one day.
Let the man take a picture.
He says my right hand he flopped trips.
The fact that it's raining outside right now, that you may or may not see on the camera, just summarizes how the fuck today went. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't even be mad because it's like, I definitely should be folding, like, normally. Or even, like, all the time. So, I don't really have anyone to blame about myself. And when it's, like, my fault, yeah, that's on me. But, like, really unfortunate to run aces, kings, and aces. Oh, shit, I have money. Oh, my God, I literally just found $15. I didn't leave with 0. I have 15. Oh my God. Hold up. I didn't leave with 0, guys. I literally was going to say I was in for $3,025, but I just realized I had chips in my hoodie and it's like $80. So that's kind of a fat win. I'm counting it right now as you can kind of, oh my God. I have this much in chips. So I was in for 325, out for this amount. We're going to find out, but I don't think it's pretty inconsequential. And we played for 2 hours. So that's 2 hours, quick work. Lost 3K to him, only to him too. It was kind of ridiculous, and I've got nothing to say. Am I rusty? Yes. Am I unable to fold? Yeah, definitely not able to fold, and that's an issue. But yeah, I've got nothing to say. What a bloody day. Really good content. I'm not even mad because I just know I played horrifically. That hurts. Yeah, it's gonna hurt. But we're gonna cash out our chips at least. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you want it. This one really just sucked. That just sucked. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got some entertainment out of this one. And,